Tehillin is not a class for one night. Tehillin is a class for 150 days. Because every chapter of the Tehillin from the 150 are amazing. Even though that you just open, you read a translation, and you don't read nothing special, like by David, a song, the heard, but in each one of the word, and each one of the verse that we have in each one of the chapter of the Tehillim, we see amazing things. And if we have to go one by one, we will never finish. But today we're going to do a summary and what is really the concept of the Tehillim. And number one. Number two, we're going to go to some of the Tehillim that can really change our lives. Tehillim is one of the books also from the Torah. But the difference between Tehillim and the rest of the books is that Tehillim is like we gave something to God. Humans wrote something for God and no God something for us, which is very weird. It's very like exclusive. The Tehillim is a book that David HaMelech, the King David, wrote when he was escaping, was running away from Saul, when he was the king, before he was the king, when he was young, when he was in the desert, in many situations of his life. And every time he was in a dangerous or he was doing something important, he was writing each one of the chapters that we have in the Tehillim, of the book. So it's the life of David. But in each one of the life of David, the Psalms of David, we see that every time he was praising to God. He was like thanking God for every situation. Not only the good, but also the bad. Like you see many times in the Tehillim, the enemies were going after David. Many times we see the enemies were going after David. And even though he was praying God, he was thanking God for saving my life. Save me from my enemies, and many times in the Tehillim. Which means that in every one of the Tehillim we see a concept of life. It doesn't matter how bad the situation is, always goodness. And that's what the Tehillim is all about. Now why the Tehillim is magic? And I tell you why it's magic. Because it's something that we're giving to God. It's like something is a book that we wrote special, or a human wrote special for God. And who was that man? Was David HaMelech. Another thing I want to tell you, just in case I don't know if you know, but there is a question if the Tehillim are 147 or 150 chapter. Why 147? Because that was the Yaakov Avinu age when he passed away. That was his life. That's the one was 147. So it said that each one of the chapters represent one life, 1 year of life of Jacob. That's an interpretation. But the bottom line is that we have 147 chapters according to some opinion. Some opinions say no, it's 150. So because there is a lot of discussion. Yeah.
Which three are in question?
Oh, that's the question. They don't know exactly which one are the right one. Which one are together, which one are not. So therefore, the sages or sages from the past decide to divide the Tehillim in different groups. Like you say, it's divided in 7 days of the week. So if you want to say the Tehillim of the day, you start from the Aleph and you go until the 29. Oh, not 30. 29. You go to from Aleph, from the first one to the 29. So you get there, and the 29 you have the Sunday, the first day of the week. And then you go to Monday, etc., etc. That's one division. Another division was made is from the beginning of the month. When you start the month, like now, for example, we are in the month number 4, the day number 5 of the month. No, the 4. Tonight is 4, getting to 5. So therefore, today we're supposed to say the chapter are included in the day of 4. The day of 4 will be from the 23rd to the whatever. To the 28th. Anyway, and it was divided in different groups. Now let's go to the most important thing. What are the interpretations of the Tehillim? People think that Tehillim you say when you are sad, right? Someone is sick, you say Tehillim, right? When someone is, when someone passed away, we have to say Tehillim. Someone that is watching a person that died, and is watching, you have to, until he's buried, the burial, you have to say chapters of Tehillim. Someone that he's afraid for a test, he has to say some Tehillim. Someone that he cannot find a shidduch, there is a special Tehillim, special psalm. Someone that has, for example, problems with financial, he has to say also the special chapter of Tehillim. And the question is, why? Why? Because it's something sad. Tehillim, it seems to be a book for bad situation. What do you guys think?
It's not necessarily prevention of bad situations.
It's just strengthening anything, in my opinion.
Prevention.
Prevention?
Prevention. They could say it so it won't happen.
So what happens if someone passed away already? You say also special Tehillim.
It strengthens yourself.
David HaMelech is teaching us how to approach to God if you want to be successful. And maybe a different person will tell you, a different king, beside David will tell you, if you want something from God and the situation is bad, if you are the son and he's your father, you should call him and ask him and yell him and cry to him because you are the son, you know? And many rabbis also say that if you are in a very desperate situation, you have to talk to God like he's your father. How do you talk to God if he's you? How do you talk to your father? If you need something, you ask. I want you. And you must give me because you are my father. You can't let me have a shalom die. You are my father, you have to feed me. There's one way to approach God, which is not bad. Because it's a way to believe in God, in such a belief that you connect with God like your father in you. But there's another connection with God, which is completely different. It's praising God, showing God how much you love Him. Imagine if you have a son, and the son comes to you, and he wants something. He wants an apple. And what he does, like my daughter Batsheva, you know Batsheva, no? The little baby? I want an apple. No, today is no apple anymore. That used to be before in the past. I want the iPad. You know, no, go to sleep, Batsheva. I want the iPad. Ah. What she does, cry and cry. Sometimes, you know what? Take it. It's okay. Take it. Mommy doesn't see. Take it. Watch whatever you want. No, almost. Only Elmo will let you watch. Or Uncle Moshi. So you can watch something, but only 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Thank you, thank you. Go away. That's one way that she convinced me. There's another way that is the best way. And that's what Tamar does sometimes. You know Tamar, no? The other one. Papi, I love you so much. I love you. Papi.
Now everybody opens the box and look at the camera. Say hi.
Oh, say cheese.
Yeah.